Samantha here and welcome back to my channel, and a little speed build that I worked on over the last couple of days using cottage living as my inspiration. But just FYI, I am going to be streaming a farming challenge that I've kind of adapted and created over on Twitch. So if you guys would like to check me out over there, please look in the description for the link and you can follow me over there. I'm not sure exactly what days I'll be streaming it, but I did start last night. So if you guys want to check the VOD, you can go do so over there on Twitch. So I guess the base of this build was basically I wanted to get into the cottage living area, which is Hinford on Bagley, and take that 64 by 64 lot and create a farmhouse using that lot. And so the backstory with this farmhouse is that it's belonged to my character's grandparents, and they have since, passed and moved on with life, or afterlife rather. Oh, that sounds weird, but anyway. And the mayor and the folks of Hinford on Bagley were kind of like, hey, this house is just sitting here, so if you're all not going to do anything with it, then we're going to take it over and use it for something else. And so my character Deborah decided that she would go over to the farm and kind of like spruce it back to life and get it back up and running and kind of be one of those successful farms that's in the area and partaking in all of the I guess greatness of the area. But unfortunately there are some challenges that we've been coming across, which again, if you guys will check out that Twitch, it was crazy. I'm not sure if I'm going to edit it and put it over here. If you guys would like that, let me know, because I can, but as of right now, it's going to be over on Twitch. But anyway, unfortunately, yeah, we had to go over to the house. It is currently dilapidated. So as you guys will see it as I'm building it, it is really nicely decorated and furnished and everything looks beautiful inside of it. But unfortunately, I ended up right before the gameplay taking everything out because it's kind of like a rags to riches adaptation, but we're using just the farm stuff for it. And because of that, she had $0 when she got there. And also another little twist to the challenge is that she has to go to college and get her biology degree, which will also help with her farming when we can reap the benefits of that once she gets her degree and stuff. So it's basically what's going on there. So just a little backstory on what all of that stuff is. I guess what my plans are and stuff for this little stream series that'll be again over on Twitch. So real quick, I'm just over here getting the basic shape for the farm. There is a farm that I saw online that kind of was the inspiration, and I'll post a picture so you guys can kind of check it out. And I wanted the shape of this farm basically, and I felt like it would be I guess a good farm shape to do because it's nice and big. It has this wraparound porch, and honestly it could have been a little bit smaller, but I ended up liking it because I really enjoyed the overall shape. But I will say I did have a little bit of a struggle, which unfortunately, due to just restraints in my life or whatever, I just really hadn't had a chance to really play The Sims in depth like I used to. So I really hadn't had a chance to play with cottage living. And I know I looked at all the stuff and I was very impressed with all of the stuff. But then once it was time to build, I realized that there were some limitations that were a little bit hard to overcome. One being the stairs. Like, I was very excited about the options for the fence, but then when it was time for me to do the railings for the stairs, I wanted it to match that fence, and the only one they had available was the fairy tale one. And I wasn't using the fairy tale fence because, I don't know, I liked the look of this fence. It gave me a more rustic look, as in the fairy tale fence, in my opinion, looked more whimsical or looked more, I don't know, like I wanted the farm to look like it's been old. It's been lived in. Maybe it's a couple, I don't know, definitely a couple decades old. I don't know if I want to say a couple 100 years, some centuries old, but definitely old. And I wanted to convey that. And I just felt like the other fences were a little bit too, I guess you could say modern, or a little bit too fancy. So here I am. This was actually my first time playing around with lakes, and shout out to the community on the Sims 4 gallery. I was looking online for farms because originally I was kind of like, maybe I'll just download a farm, but I really wanted to make my own farm because it was just something I just wanted to do. But a lot of them had like lakes and ponds and winding rivers and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, I kind of want to do that. So it was my first time playing with that terrain tool, and I wanted to make a bridge going across. But honestly, I just wasn't happy with it. I don't know. For me, it just looked very, I don't know, like very messy. And I don't know. I don't want to make, when it comes to lakes and rivers or just bodies of water in general, like in real life, they're not organized. They're like all over the place. But for some reason, I just couldn't get that wrapped around my head. Like, hey, Samantha, just make it a winding area and call it a day. No, my brain was like, it needs to be on point. It needs to be perfect. And it just was not working right. So I ended up going to bed, waking up the next day after I watched a couple videos and kind of like having it again. And I really like the platform tool. I played around with it. A couple of, well, maybe that was like last week, with the wedding build that I had worked on. And I was kind of like, this is definitely different. It definitely gives you more abilities. Like builders, if all you into for Sims is building, we have so much resources now. We might not have like the best, I'm not going to even say the best. We might not even have like a whole catalog of items in the games to like give you everything you want. But with debug, move objects on, show hidden objects, all of those little cheats, and then the tools that we have now with terrains and building platforms and things of that nature, I really feel like now we can pretty much build anything. And it's way more, to me, it feels like, and maybe because I was working on this, The Sims is like definitely right now a builder's game because I was having a blast like experimenting and playing around with the different terrains and stuff like that. And then just working on the little bridges. The crazy thing is when I was in the gallery, I did see some options where bridges were kind of like curved over. I don't know how they do that, but if you wanted to, if you're like into playing around with platforms and just making bridges, definitely you could put stairs, raise it up a little bit so it kind of has like an up and down. And one cool thing, I didn't do it here because I was kind of restrained with my spacing. I didn't put stairs or anything like that. I just wanted to make flat bridges going across. But one cool thing is you could use, if you have island living, you can use the stilts foundation to make it look like it's just sticks, like the little post in the water, the support post in the water, as opposed to just like a full foundation, because it'd be more realistic for them to put support posts in the water than a full foundation. And that definitely gives it the bridge look, even though it's a platform. And then I added those same fences, put the wood paneling on the bottom of like the flooring of the fence, and voila. There you go. So I didn't like how the water was kind of like on some of the spots, kind of rising over into the grass, if that makes any sense. So I ended up using rocks in some of the areas to kind of like surround the lake part, so that way it could be a little bit more organized. But as I was starting to put the rocks, which you'll see here in a second, I realized that it was a little bit, I don't know, it was a little bit too much. So I ended up just doing it sporadically in certain areas, but definitely the areas with the bigger bodies of water, I tried my hardest to put like a lot of greenery, lush stuff around it, and put the rocks to kind of like contain it. And then put those little wildlife spawn points in there so we can have like ducks and fish and stuff like that. I will say though, once I got into the lot to play it, I was a little bit disappointed with the ducks because I don't know. I felt like you put the spawn in there. Maybe they would have traveled a little bit further than that little, because you get like, okay, so when you put the spawn there, you'll get like this little red, like a bunch of squares that fit like a red square. And that's like what I would call like the, what is it called? Like the area of that item. So that way, if you have move objects off, you can't put anything in that area because it'll interfere. And that little box is basically where those ducks and stuff stay. They literally go around in a circle. It looked like it was like 4 ducks. It was like 2 little ones, 2 big ones, and they go around in a circle. So it kind of looks, it doesn't look as lifelike and as naturey as I would like it to look. It looks mechanical. So I ended up taking some of them out because I know when I first put them in, I had like a ton of ducks. I was like, I want ducks up and down this river. You know, I just want the atmosphere to be nice and serene. But then it's like once I started like on live mode, or live mode, since that's the debate, right? Is it live mode or live mode? But anyway, once we did that, I was kind of like, I don't really, I don't think I really like what this looks like. But and it's just one of those things. Like I don't know. I won't complain about it, but I was a little bit disappointed because, again, like I said, this was my first time doing this. So I was kind of like, I was expecting a little bit more. But so anyway, I'm just right now, I think I spent majority of the build on the outside because I definitely wanted to make sure we had designated sections and areas for the lakes, and then also designated sectioned areas for the farm, and then the 2 areas for the animals, because right now, which if you guys download this in the gallery, I don't know yet. Let me know in the comment box how y'all want me to do it. If you're watching me over on Twitch, you know the house looks totally different. After you see it in the speed build, of course, it looks totally different over on Twitch because I took everything out. I tore up the house basically. It looks trashed. So, but the one that I could either upload both of them. So if you decide to do the challenge and use the house, you could do that. Or if you just want the good clean one, I'll just upload the good clean one, and it should be up. Oops, sorry about that. It should be up today. It should be up today, no problem. So anyway, here I am making one of the animal pens. This is going to be where the cow or llama is going to be. So unfortunately, because of the size, and if I'm not mistaken, since I really haven't played with cottage living, I might be wrong, but I think I am on point when I say this. But because of cottage living, one of those little huts only houses one either cow or llama. So unfortunately, because of the size of the area, I only had enough space for 2. So you can have 1 cow and 1 llama. But honestly, the lot is so big, and I think I gave enough allowances if you wanted to put another lot, or even if you wanted to just not have the little tree area in the corner. That's going to be a little bit more, just for decor. Maybe you could squeeze another one in there, but for the most part, you may have to play around with the orientation or the movement of those if you want to squeeze another one in, or just, I guess, make that area a little bit larger. Because again, the farm has like a ton of space to expand and stuff. So right here, I'm working on a storage shed because for some reason I felt like a farm needs a storage shed. There's going to be things that you're going to need that's going to need to be right next to the animals, so you don't have to go in and out the house. And being that this lot is a 64 by 64, it does take a little bit of time going from one side to the other side. I will say this though, while I was playing it during my stream, I did notice that some of the bridges were too high for her to walk across. So I ended up fixing those and having those available for when I uploaded on the gallery. So you shouldn't have any problems with that. But I did notice when she was going places, a lot of times it was taking us longer to get from point A to point B because she was going to that front bridge to go around, as opposed to making her way through the bridges, like the little shortcuts that I had gave her. So a little bit disappointing, but it's all good. It worked out good. I could have put stairs there, but I was kind of like, I liked everything being flat. Unfortunately, like I say, stairs did take up a little bit of space, and I didn't want to waste any more space to accommodate for the stairs. So this storage shed, I actually just put a bunch of random stuff in there that I feel like would come in handy. Truth be told, I would probably gut this out eventually and put like a flower arrangement container, like a table there. Probably put, I don't know, any little crafting table thingies that we need. I'd probably stick it all in there, just so that if it's raining or if it's hot or just whatever the situation is, your sim can go in there and work, as opposed to working on the on the lot, I guess you could say, in the area, like, I'm sorry, outside. I can't talk today, but I would totally do that so that way she could work. Because unfortunately, while I was playing this, I want to say we played for a good it was definitely over a week, maybe a week and a half. And I felt like it rained more than half the time we were playing, which is fine because at least the crops did really good when we finally got an opportunity to plant crops. But I was just like, she was miserable the whole time because either she was soaked or she was uncomfortable. And I did try to make this lot, I guess, have the potential to be a green lot, eco-friendly lot. So I put in a clothesline and a wash tub. So she has to wash her clothes outside. We're also drying clothes outside, which means a lot of times the clothes were getting were getting wet. But hopefully with the challenge, which I should have them typed up and on my Tumblr today at some point, and I'll put the link in probably the comments, because probably by the time I type it up, this video will already be out. So I'll probably put the link in the comments. But what I'm hoping to do is, based off of the challenge rules, eventually have it where we can make this lot eco-friendly, have solar panels, wind turbines, water catchers, just anything like that to kind of help, because the bills on this lot is ridiculous. And if you're going to play the challenge how I have it played, or how I have it designed, you're going to need to have money and you're going to want to figure out a way to cut costs some kind of way, because I think the bills, and we didn't even have electricity at the time because of the challenge rules at the time. I had it where the lights were cut off, or all the wiring was messed up. So she had to study handiness up to level 2 in order to cut the lights on. So we didn't even have the lights on, and we still owed like over 3,000 simoleons just on taxes and stuff like that. So it's an expensive lot. So if you decide to play the challenge, you're definitely going to want to look into eventually getting to be, or even if you don't want to play a challenge, but you want to play with this lot, I would probably still look into getting some eco-friendly type things to kind of help offset the cost. So here we are working on the garden. I wanted it to have little sections so we could section off different crops, because realistically, if I'm going to do a garden, I would have it be organized some type of way. Maybe the flowers on one side, the vegetables on the other side, the herbs on the other side, just whatever. And so that way everything's not all mixed up. So I was trying to make like little sections. I ended up doing 5 or 4. I think I ended up doing a 4x2 section on all of those. So yeah, that's how that worked out. So then, because I am lake happy, I don't even know what that's about, I decided to make another little lakey area just so I could have like a little lounge relaxation area on the other side, kind of like tucked off. And so it made a little small lake area. Honestly, being that I would probably say a good 20% of this lot is, well, maybe I might be over exaggerating, but it feels like a good majority of this lot is water. It might be a good idea to not have that there and then just expand the garden a little bit. Because right now, through the playthrough that I'm doing, we're definitely not halfway, but maybe like 20% of the garden is being used right now. Because we got to the point where we were planting bluebells, snapdragons, we had sage, parsley, taro root, and mushrooms. So that was 1, 2, I just lost count just quick. I think that was like 6 or 7 of those little plot thingies already done. But I'm imagining though, at least what I think I would like to do is probably when it is, because right now it's spring in my gameplay, when it's not spring anymore and those plants aren't in season, I'll probably just dig them up, save a couple to plant for the next spring. Or some of the plants we do have are spring and summer, which is going to come in handy. But a lot of them were just spring. And some of them didn't have a season at all, like the parsley and I think the sage didn't have a season at all. So I'll probably just leave those like that. But anyway, so yeah, that's probably what I'll do. But if it gets to the point where you have potatoes, tomatoes, I don't know if wheat's in the game, but if you get to the point where you have all of those, you might want to expand the planting area just a little bit. So maybe you'll get rid of that lake. I just was more so just fascinated with the bridges and the opportunity for her to have like a little area where she can kind of relax and swing, or if she ends up having kids, which is what my hope for her is that she'll expand her family and have kids, because, you know, it's a nice farmhouse and it's 3 bedrooms. It ends up being 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. But honestly, you probably could squeeze a 4th bedroom in there. I don't know about a 3rd bath, but definitely, unless you put like a half bath downstairs, you could definitely squeeze a 4th bedroom up in there. So you could totally have this be a family home. And I think it'll be really nice. So I wanted to put like a swing set and stuff over there. Anyway, we're on a whole nother area right now. I'd be speeding these builds up, and then I'm still talking about something from another side. And then here we are, moved on to another side. But here I am just trying to add a little greenery and vegetation. I wanted everything to look lush, but kind of overgrown and kind of wild. While I did want to make some bushes just to kind of frame the outside, the front of the house, just for curb appeal, I definitely wanted a lot of overgrown elements, because like I said, the house has been sitting here for a while. Her grandparents have died and have moved on, and you know, it's just been sitting here. So I feel like a lot of wildflowers, things that just kind of grow crazy. It doesn't have like any organization, no rhyme or reason. It's just there. I did feel like I wanted to have those be kind of like scattered around. So here I am back at this gazebo because I wanted it to be white. Why, when I think of gazebos, I think white? I don't know. But then I realized it stuck out like a sore thumb. Every time I zoomed out to look at the lot as a whole, and then I would see that gazebo again, I'd be like, oh my gosh. So I ended up making it brown just to kind of match all the brown elements, like the bridges and stuff like that. And I think it came out really pretty. That was my first time actually playing around making a gazebo. I've seen some really nice ones, and by no means do I think this one is just like, wow. But I do like how it came out. I like the opportunity to do the platforming thing again and then have the octagonal roof to kind of like shape around it. So I think it came out really pretty. So honestly, it's just another area. Like when I decorated it, I ended up putting like a grill and stuff over there. But it's honestly just another area for just relaxation on the farm. You can sit next to the animals, maybe read a book, maybe crochet or knit, you know, whatever your sim, cross stitch, whatever your sim is into. So finally, on the inside, after I don't even know, 6-7 hours of building the outside, it was crazy. I decided to go on the inside. So I wanted to make a staircase as soon as you come in because I wanted it definitely to stay 2 stories. At one point, I was like, should I just make it 1 story? But I ended up just wanting to make it 2 stories. So working on sectioning off the rooms. And this is where I said you probably could squeeze a half bath in because right underneath the stairs, you could put like, I'm pretty sure, and I might do that now that I think about it, just to kind of double check. And if it works out, I might upload it like that. But I feel like underneath the stairs, you could do a little small room with a toilet and a sink. That's it though. I feel like you could, but we'll have to play around with that and see. I do like the ability to stick stuff underneath the sink. I mean, underneath the stairs and have it be like a whole separate room. Because even if you don't use it for a bathroom, you could always use it for storage, which is something it seems like the Sims need a lot of, because especially if you're into like the season stuff, you might want to have like the Christmas tree put up somewhere, because I'm the type that like to play as realistic as possible. You don't just throw away the Christmas tree, right? You'd probably put it somewhere and save it for the next season, or even that little decorative box where they can rummage through it and decorate the house with lights. So you could totally put that stuff like in a storage area if you wanted to. But anyway, move objects on is a lifesaver, because a lot of stuff I was doing in here was move objects on and just trying to make everything look lived in and cluttered. In my mind, I'm thinking that the person who lived here probably has a dog because it's a farm. Even though my character I'm playing with right now does not have a dog, I would like for her to eventually get a dog. So like I said, right now the house is just being presented beautifully as I'm decorating. But once I did go in the game and get rid of everything, it does not look like that right now. But it's definitely been interesting so far because yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It's definitely adding to the challenge to have a huge house that not only needs to be cleaned, it needs to be furnished, it needs to be renovated, it needs, yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. But I did put the TV above the fireplace, and with move objects on, it should still work. But unfortunately, that was the only place I could really put a TV. And then part of me was like, maybe I won't get a TV. But, you know, for modern day farms, I don't see anything wrong with having a TV. You could watch the news, catch up on, I don't know, your court TV, whatever you're into, honestly. I could see having the use for a TV, so I wanted to put it there. But if you feel like it takes away from the country living, then you could always take that TV and get rid of it. But anyway, so here we go with that. And I'm just putting some some pictures and stuff on the wall. I ended up doing this later on, and I remembered while I was recording that I had stopped recording because I was taking breaks, whether it was like me eating or dealing with my kids or whatever. And then I'd come back and start, and then I'd realize I had stopped recording and didn't hit record again. But there are going to be some paintings on the lot that aren't actually in-game paintings, because we have this wonderful, again, Sims 4 a gallery community that make the game, to me, even more, a lot more customized for you, or a lot more ability to do pretty much anything we want. But there's like a group of folks that actually upload handmade, they're not CC. They look like CC because they're definitely not things that you can get in the game, but they'll have these Sims paint things in the game that you could use in your lots. So they'll make them a room, and hopefully I'll do have footage of this. If not, I'll I'll do a video on it maybe another time. But if you search on the gallery for like rooms and you put like paintings, and if you have like a specific type painting you're looking for, in this case, I end up searching for farm paintings or farming paintings, or I think farmhouse paintings. There was a handful of things that I searched for, and I found all these rooms where people had paintings that their sim had painted that was tailored to a farm life. It might have been a rooster, it might have been some apples, stuff like that. So I was struggling a little bit because, again, it's crazy how I'll be overwhelmed, like, wow, this pack is really nice. But then once I really start trying to build with it, I'm like, this pack is limited because we really didn't get like a lot of things to hang on the walls that's kind of like farm oriented. In my opinion, it felt like we didn't get that much. So it came in handy to go on the gallery and just grab some farm centered type decor. So that way we can at least have that be tied into the house. So here I am doing the kitchen. I was trying my hardest to stray away from the same old boring bland. I am really, really good in a bad way of trying to stick with neutral stuff. So I'll do like browns and tans and stuff. And I still am guilty of that in this build, unfortunately. But I try my hardest to do something different. And I really liked this green. And I don't even know how to describe this green. It's kind of like a mint, but sage, but not a mint. I don't know, but I really liked the green, and I liked how it was kind of like tied into that wallpaper, even though I ended up changing the wallpaper. But I do like how it looked. And then I was trying to use the appliances from the pack. Of course, if you feel like your sim needs more updated appliances, because there's nothing wrong with having updated stuff on a farm. So if you want to do that, you could totally go in there and change it. But I did want to use those. And I do like the lighting that came with this pack. Those little pendant lights look so pretty. They have like a rustic look, like an old lantern to me. And then they've like been extended onto like a chain. So I don't know. They're just really, really nice. So here I'm decorating that room right now. I think that tile is from I think it's from Jungle Adventures. I don't know what it was, but I loved that green pop that was like tying that green in, and then the tans and the white. So I ended up using that. We only got one wallpaper. Well, let me not say wallpaper. We only got one wall covering with a bunch of swatches of different wallpaper. So we didn't get like a tile or anything like that. So I kind of wanted to use a tile backsplash. I like using backsplash type elements in my kitchen to make it look like it's a backsplash, but it's really just a tiled wall, and it's just that one wall. And then I just tied in the colors off to the side to kind of make it look like the same color, or to tie it in. So that is how I end up doing that, because that, I don't know if you could tell above the cabinets, it's just like a gray paint. And then underneath the cabinets down to the floor is where the tile is. It's like one of those dual wallpapers. And so I like to try to get a paint swatch as close to that top part so it looks like it's intentional. Like the whole wall is just really painted that, and then it's just the backsplash of tile. So that's what I was trying to do there. So here I am realizing how doggone limited I am with not having enough things to hang on this wall to kind of like fill in the dead spaces. And then honestly, at this point, since I have been working on the build for over 6 or 7 hours at this point, and I was getting ready to start streaming, I kind of was getting to the point where I was just like, just finish it already, Samantha, because like this is ridiculous. But I do like how the kitchen came out. I ended up doing a sitting area, like a little breakfasty dining area in the kitchen, along with the stools, so you can have multiple options for your Sims to sit. Maybe they'll sit at the stools when they're eating breakfast, but then when they have like a formal dinner, they'll sit at the dining room table. I did think about possibly moving the stairs, having the access just in the kitchen, and then putting a dining area in another room where the stairs are now. But I ended up changing my mind. But that might be something that you might want to get into and do it. And honestly, y'all, if y'all ever download any of my lots, and first of all, do whatever you want with them. I'm not even a stickler to be like, oh, make sure you give me credit. I don't really care. I only build honestly because I'm interested in a specific build, or something inspires me, or a pack comes out and I'm like, ooh, I want to use this stuff. Things like that. And it's like vanity, like it's a vanity build. It's like, it's because I want to, not because I feel like I have to. In this case, I guess I wanted to, because I wanted to have a build for the series that I was doing on Twitch, but I don't feel like like I have to, you get what I'm saying? So I could always just go to gallery and find something or just make something work. So for that reason, I don't mind if people take my builds and like revamp them or edit them, because I don't feel like it's mine. It's just something that I did because I felt like it and because I was in the mood or inspired, and then I just want to share with you guys. So it ain't that deep to me, basically. And if you're like that, I'm not saying anything to be like offensive. Please don't take it offensively. I'm just saying for me personally, it's okay. Saying all that to say, if you guys decide to go in here and edit this lot, change up the rooms, I would love to see it. I did have a hashtag. Ooh, I don't remember what it is. I'm gonna have to go look it up. I do have a hashtag that we use so I can look at your lots. But even if we don't use the hashtag, just come in the comment box and be like, oh, I did this lot over. I made it over. I decorated it, whatever, and post it in the comments and let me go see it. And maybe if there's a lot of submissions of people redoing this lot, I will do a video touring them, or I'll just do it on stream or whatever the case may be. I would love to see how you guys make this your own. I truly like, and maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll just upload it. You know what? How about you tell me in the comment box? Should I upload it just bare bones blank? Let you guys come in here and decorate it. Because at least the exterior and everything's done. But if you want to come in and, you know, draw some walls or renovate some stuff, you know, whatever, please feel free. I have no problems with it whatsoever. Or what we can do is I can upload it like this and then upload it blank as well. And then also upload the dilapidated version. Just please tell me in the comment box. But honestly, if you do decide to download it and just gut it out, I am okay with it. The only thing I ask is that let me see it. You ain't even got to give me credit unless you want to say, hey, Samantha made this, but I went through and edited it. I don't care, but I would love to see it. That's the only thing I want. I want to see it because I like to see you guys' ideas, and I like to see my ideas come to life in your ideas, or vice versa, or your ideas come to life in my ideas. I want to see the way you can make it your own. So if you guys do that, please let me know in the comment box, and I will go check it out and maybe even use it, honestly, because and I think that's my struggle a lot of times with The Sims as well, is sometimes I get so limited, or I feel limited with the amount of stuff we have. Because even like with these curtains, I was like, I want to use these curtains, but golly, but anyway, here I am. I did go and show this. Okay, I couldn't remember. So I went in the gallery, got these paintings, and like I said, they're really good. And thankfully with the size up and size down tool, you could totally make them smaller if you want to, make them larger, you know, slide them along the wall to do like 2 or 3 or whatever. So I went through and grabbed like a bunch of little paintings and stuff and just tried to fill in the spots that I felt like needed things, and then kind of like make it look more like a farm. I probably overdid it. As a matter of fact, when I was done, I was like, Samantha, you probably overdid it. And that's okay. But I think it came out really nice in the end, with that whole situation. So again, just a reminder, I did start getting kind of like, oh, when am I going to be done with this build? And it's not even like a lot. It's not even a big house. That's the crazy thing. It was the lot. It was the lot trying to factor in like those lakes and those bridges and then like all the other stuff. So the 2 rooms, which I assume would be presumably the children's rooms if you have kids, or roommates rooms, maybe farmhands rooms, just whatever. Those are blank right now, but I did make this little seating area on the landing. And honestly, I do this a lot more so because I'm trying to make sure everybody has access points to the different rooms. So, but if you could figure out a way to configure like a little hallway or something and maybe give us an extra room, or maybe move the bathroom that I made, it might be worth it to not have the landing up there. It's always nice to have another little lounge area, but truth be told, the Sims aren't going to use it like how you'd want them to use it. Like if we're being real. So I don't know, it might end up being a useless area. Or if you want to make it like a skill building area for the kids, like you put a puppet station down there, a piano, violin, you know, stuff like that. So that stuff doesn't have to be in their room. It takes up so much space. It could be like a little playroom for the kids. But you know, you could just do whatever you want with it. So here I am over here decorating the outside again, trying to make like a little area for you to grill in. And then I think at some point I realized I didn't do the bathroom, and I did go back and do the bathroom, but I didn't hit record until late. So I did do the bathroom upstairs. So the only rooms that are not furnished in the house are going to be the 2 bedrooms. So you can make those however you want to make them. Like I said, a farmhand, a siblings room. You could even take that wall down and make it 2 big rooms up there if you wanted to, and go from there. So I'm going to go on and wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. Again, it'll be on the gallery. If you guys would like the furnished version, a gutted version, and the dilapidated version, let me know in the comment box. I will upload all 3 and name them accordingly. And then if you guys do decide to redecorate it or revamp it, or even edit the rooms or whatever, also let me know so I could check that out. I would love to see what you guys do with it. And if you want details on the challenge and the rules that I have made, again, I'm not going to take full credit for the challenge because I did get ideas and elements from the regular Rags to Riches challenge, and there was a simmer in the community that made a challenge specifically for cottage living, and I kind of took elements from both of those and kind of made them my own. And then I did add a couple things that weren't on there. So I don't want to take full credit for it, but just like an adaptive version of it. If you want details on that as well, I will have that link for my Tumblr in the comment box. I'm going to type that up as soon as I finish editing this video. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy. Check me out on Twitch if you want to see me play on this lot. It's been hilarious. I can't even lie. I cannot lie. It has been hilarious. And if you guys would like for me to edit that and put it over here, also let me know. Y'all have a lot of things to let me know. So I need the comments. I need the comments popping today. Okay. I need them popping. I need every bit of information you need to give me down in the comments so I can make sure I get all these things taken care of. But if you guys would like to see that, also let me know. And don't forget to thumbs up the video and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.